open this hhs.html with Notepad++. So close all left to left. Yeah, now only my file is there. And in this one, you see in the body tag I kept this script tag. So the syntax of this JavaScript is we will be keeping starting and ending a script blocks, and we mention the language is JavaScript and type as testers JavaScript. So the language attribute, this attribute specifies which scripting language you are using. Typically its value will be JavaScript only, although recent versions of HTML have removed this attribute. And the type attribute is what now recommended to indicate the scripting language, which set text or JavaScript. So the second attribute is mandatory. The first attribute language is equal to JavaScript can be ignored now, but as a convention to support the old browsers, if they are still running, we will be keeping both of them. So let us look at the sample code what we wrote. We added an optional HTML comment surrounding the JavaScript code. This is to save our code from a browser that does not support JavaScript. The comment ends with this one. Here double front slash signifies a comment in the JavaScript, not in the HTML. So we add that to prevent a browser from reading the end of HTML comment as a piece of JavaScript code. The document.read, which writes a string onto HTML document directly. So the function can be used to write text, HTML or both. And all the white spaces, tabs and new lines that appear in the JavaScript programs will be ignored. So we can keep a number of spaces and new lines for readability. Simple statements will start with var1 is equal to 10 like this, and the semicolon is not mandatory after this, so you can ignore that. So var2 is equal to 20. So if you want to keep them in a single line, you can separate them with semicolon and keep like this. JavaScript is a case-sensitive language. This means the language keywords, variables, function names, and any other identifiers must be always be typed with a consistent capitalization of letters. So the identifiers like var is equal to 20 and var2 is equal to 21, both are different because it's a capital letter. And the comments in the JavaScript is mostly equivalent to the C language. This is single line command. You see it become green color. Multi-line command is star star and star front slash. Okay. So all the modern browsers, like you see the Brave browser, which is a extension of Chromium browser, all the modern browsers come with built-in support for JavaScript. Sometimes you need to disable and enable them based on the security. So if you go to the Internet Explorer, let me open this Internet Explorer with this Internet Explorer open with Internet Explorer. You see the output, it is not showing because the Internet Explorer restricted the web page for running ActiveX controls, means it is blocked. If I click allow blocked content, then it is showing. But whenever I refresh, I need to allow it every time. Instead, what we can do is go to tools, internet options, tools, alt will bring me tools, or you can go to the settings icon, click on internet options, go to the security tab and go to the custom level. Scroll down, there will be a scripting option. Scripting, yeah, and just you need to, it's already enabled. But the security level is medium, medium to high. If you keep medium, then there is a, if you select this disable option, it won't run at all. Here now at least we are able to run it by clicking on allow button. If you keep medium, then I guess it will don't ask for allow also, it will directly execute. No, still it is there, allow blocked content. So for other browsers other than this Internet Explorer, you see it's directly getting executed. Brave browser, or let's see the Edge. Edge is, yeah, Edge, it is executing directly. So now let's say I will show you one more option. If you go to Notepad++, there is a no script tag, which this part of code will show me for designated for showing error messages when the scripting is disabled. Sorry, JScript disabled. So now let's open with Internet Explorer. You see, by default, if I click on this yellow content, then the output is changing now, because when I clicked on yellow, then the JavaScript is running and this first part of code is executing. This no script will execute when the error message will show when JavaScript is disabled. So generally there is a flexibility to keep JavaScript code in the head part instead of the body part, so that before the body part is visible, means body part is showing the content on the screen. So before the body part is shown on the screen, the head part will get executed in the metadata section. So instead of the body part, you can keep all this in the head part. You see, yeah, of course, even it is showing on the body screen, but that part will be executed first. So in the body part, let's say instead of keeping this text, let me instead of document write, let me create a function. Let's say some say hello or say h, and inside this function block I will just keep a alert box. Okay, now if I execute this, it won't show because nothing it shows, because I just defined that alert message but I didn't run that. So I want to create a button here in the body part. Input type is equal to, it's a HTML button, and I will create an on click event. So whenever this button is clicked, it will execute that function say h. Now what is the text to be visible on that button? Let's keep value say hello. The button is a single tag, so that's why I'm ending this with front slash here and saving this. So when I open this HH, you see a button is created. When I click that, you see this alert message is read. And this this visibility differs from browser to browser. Open with Internet Explorer, click on hello content. Now you see, click on say hello, the message is showing like this. Say hello, it's blocked, hello blocked content, say hello. Now you see the message it is showing here, but in this Brave browser the message alert it is showing here. So it depends on browser to browser. So if you need a script to run as the page loads, so that the script generates content on the page, then the script goes in the body portion of that document. In this case, you do not want to. So if you need a script to run as the page loads immediately, so that it generates any content on the page, then it's better to keep in the body tag. In the case you don't need any function also defined, because whatever the content comes, that will be directly printed on this body tag. Head section is generally used when you are defining the functions, which generally doesn't show any HTML output. So whatever the code I write here, I am embedding in the HTML file directly. Instead, if I want to keep it separately in a JavaScript file, and to point here, what I can do is I can remove this part function. So nothing is there. Type I is enough. This language is not required. And instead of keeping my code in the middle of the script tag, what I will do is I will keep src tag. Src is equal to some file name. I will keep filen.js. Now what I will do is I will create one more file, desktop, where this HTML file is there, filen.js. Yeah, it's created with this yellow icon. You see here it is showing some icon because the runtime here is Windows scripting host, WScript, because Windows based scripting host. So ignore that. We are executing directly with the browser, not with the Windows scripting host as of now. So this JavaScript I am pointing here. So when I run this HTML file, that JavaScript will get loaded. You see? Yeah. So that's it for this video.